Howdy y'all, it's Jacob here, and I'm reviving an old dead series of mine called Sweet Tea and a Movie. Extend the pinky, of course. Now tonight, I saw a movie called Unstoppable. It had Chris Pine and Denzel Washington, and as we all know, anything with Denzel in it is awesome. Ha ha ha. But seriously, this movie was awesome. Very awesome. I'm telling you. Go see it. Just go see it. Alright, fine, I'll elaborate. This movie's not perfect, I'll just get that out of the way right now. The first 25-30 minutes are kind of clumsy in the execution. It's it almost seems like you could just put the movie in some movie editor and add some silly, wacky sound effects in some parts because of how almost circumstantial the events that lead to the, unstoppable train are. And it almost seems kind of ridiculous in a sense, but, you gotta have something to start a tragedy. Well, not tragedy, my fault. You have to have something that starts a disaster, and that's what started it, and technically it's a good, viable way of starting it. In case you're wondering why I sound like this, I'm a little sick. Oh yeah. But yes, after the first 25 or 30 minutes, the movie really picks up. I mean, just like, picks up like crazy. Like, I know it's corny to say this, but the pacing was as fast as the train that was in the movie. I mean, goodness gracious. The official time, I looked it up before this, of the movie is about an hour and 34 minutes or something like that. But I think I checked my phone for the time after I saw this movie because I saw it at 8 and I got out at 9:55. And just to try to edit out the previews that were in there, I'd say the movie itself was probably more like an hour and 45 minutes maybe, something like that. So, but the pacing, oh my gosh, really good. I mean, seriously, really, really good. I mean, this movie felt short, but like the good kind of short, where just like action, 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 nothing is dragging, everything is going the way it's supposed to go. And just, oh my gosh, it worked so well. And man, I was shocked when I saw what time it was. I was like, dang, this movie went by fast. That's a good sign. If the pacing is right and it makes you feel like, dang, this movie went by really quick, then it's a good movie. Because you don't want to sit through a movie theater just watching a movie that drags on and on like I'm doing right now, and you're probably mad in your chair saying get to the point. But, making a point here, that's bad pacing. The pacing that was in this movie was just good. Acting, very good. Can't remember the name of the dude, but the brother from My Name is Earl, Randy Hickey, that's his name in the show. He's okay. He fit his role. Not the best acting. Best acting definitely goes to Chris Pine and Denzel Washington. Definitely, hands down. They were good. They were very, very good. They kept everything going by. Although it was kind of funny to count how many times Denzel said the word "alright" in the first 10 minutes of the movie. 4 times. But besides that, that's not even a complaint. That's just a funny little tidbit. So, now about the stunts. Holy crap. How did they get away? Well, not say get away. How did they pull off some of these stunts? I want to know. Because, oh my gosh, there's no way you could have done visual effects for this. This is ridiculous. These are trains. Tons and tons of pounds. If you mess up, somebody dies. I mean, gosh. I don't want to ruin anything, but seriously, how did they do some of these stunts? Oh my gosh. It was crazy. And it was almost like the action was its own actor in the movie. Because there was enough... It's like there was enough, what's the word I'm looking for? Attention brought onto the action as onto the actors. And you had just enough time on the actors to be able to connect with them so that if something happened to them, you were just like sitting on the edge of your seat, which is what I was doing, and like slapping the chair, which is, I was probably the only one in the theater doing that because this movie made me realize how into movies I get. But yeah, like, devoted time to each action and the actors is just really good. The stunts were awesome. Music. Woo! The music was good. I didn't care much for the rap stuff, but that was, you know, just situational, like when they were at Hooters or in the apartment. That's just situational. The music that actually drove the movie was really good. It fit its role really good. Not in the Randy Hickey fitting his role kind of thing, but fitting a role as in good. I'll edit that up. Yeah, the music, oh my gosh. It actually swelled some ideas in my mind for stuff that I want to try out. And, whew, man. So yeah, music was good, stunts were good, acting was good. Story was good. It's not a very complicated story. You got a runaway train, people trying to stop it. People stop it. Because, I mean, come on. I know I spoiled it, but seriously, did you really think that it was going to blow up? I'm pretty sure that if it had blown up, they would have put it in the trailers and then they would have spoiled the movie for you anyway. So yeah, train doesn't blow up, they stop it, but I won't ruin the whole ending. One thing I do have a little bit of a gripe about was they kind of made a big deal in the trailers about the little kids. Spoiler alert, fast forward to whatever time I put on the bottom of the screen so that you don't, if you don't want to hear this, then skip to that part. Okay, spoiler alert over. My one gripe about this story was that in the trailers they put a lot of emphasis, well, not a whole lot, but, you know, a pretty good amount of emphasis on the kids who were in the other part of the train. Not other part, the other train that was on the opposite side of the runaway train. And that little side story got wrapped up in, like, I don't know, maybe like not even halfway point in the movie, like earlier. Like, I was sitting in my chair going, well, dang, that kind of cuts suspense. Because, I mean, that's what side stories are for, you know? Like, you have a side plot in case the main plot starts dragging on and gets boring. But luckily for this movie, the main plot did not drag. It did not get boring. It was awesome. So, I can forgive that little gripe about the kids on the other side of the train. That they should have gotten a little bit more suspense, but for the sake of the movie and for its pacing, it was good that they cut it out, that they resolved it when they did, because they had a lot to do in a short amount of time and they did it well. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else that I want to gripe about the movie because it was just really good. Like, my only two gripes are that part that I spoiled, unless you skip to this part of the video, and the first 25-30 minutes of the movie, which were kind of clumsy in execution. But other than that, the movie was great. I would go see this a second time. I might have to see it a second time just to feel exhilarated again. I would even go see it a third time. I mean, seriously, this movie was that good. I would pay to see this movie, and I pay to see my movies, you darn piraters. So, let me take a sip of my sweet tea. So I guess we're at the end of this. Final verdict on the movie, 9 out of 10. 1 point subtracted for the 2 gripes that I mentioned earlier. But that's it. If you don't go see this movie, at least rent it on Netflix, or if there's still video stores around in your town and it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray, whatever you have, rent it. It's worth the watch. It's really good. It's a good action movie. Action. And it even has bits of comedy in it that fit really well. I mean, just some of the quick little quips, you know, they're good. They keep the pace going, which is another thing. I've been saying pace a lot, and that's the one thing that I really, really got out of this movie. The pacing was just spot on. It was really good. So yeah, 9 out of 10. Go see this movie. I'm out.